My boss tried to fire me to give my job to his incompetent nephew, not knowing I was the one keeping his company alive. My boss, Raymond, hired his nephew Trevor, straight out of college, and immediately started planning to give him my job as operations manager, even though I'd been running the department successfully for 5 years. Raymond started by undermining me in meetings, saying things like, "Let's see if we can improve on what we have," whenever I presented my work. He'd assigned Trevor to shadow me, claiming he needed to learn the business, but really Trevor was there to take credit for everything I did. When I streamlined our inventory system, saving the company $40,000 a month, Raymond announced that Trevor had been instrumental in the improvements. When I negotiated better contracts with suppliers, Raymond told everyone Trevor had coached me through it. Trevor couldn't even read a spreadsheet properly, but suddenly he was being praised for my work, while Raymond acted like I was barely competent. Raymond started nitpicking everything I did. My reports were suddenly too detailed, then not detailed enough. My meetings were too long, then too short. He'd change requirements after I'd completed projects, then criticize me for not following instructions. He'd send emails at midnight asking for things by 8 a.m., then write me up for missing deadlines when I delivered them at 8:15. He told other departments I was difficult to work with, even though they'd been requesting me specifically for projects for years. The setup became obvious when Raymond started documenting every tiny mistake. I used the wrong color folder for a report that got written up. I parked in the wrong spot on a day the signs were being repainted. That became an official warning. He even wrote me up for not attending a meeting he'd never invited me to, claiming I should have known about it. Meanwhile, Trevor was making actual costly mistakes like ordering wrong inventory and losing client accounts, but Raymond covered for him, saying he was still learning. After 6 months of this, Raymond called me into his office with HR present. He had this smug look as he said, "Your performance has been consistently substandard. We're terminating you effective immediately." He prepared this whole file of manufactured infractions, using the wrong font in an email, taking 31 minutes for a 30-minute lunch, not saying good morning to him one day when I was on a client call, complete garbage dressed up as performance issues. I was escorted out while Raymond told everyone I'd been let go for incompetence. Trevor moved into my office that same day. Raymond sent an email to the whole company saying Trevor would be taking over and improving our outdated operations. What Raymond didn't know was that I'd been single-handedly managing relationships with our 3 biggest clients, who accounted for 70% of revenue. I'd also been the only person maintaining our custom ordering system that I'd built from scratch. Plus, I was the only one who knew how to fix the warehouse management software that crashed weekly. I'd tried to train others, but Raymond always said it wasn't necessary. Within 3 days, the first client called. Mr. Yamamoto from Techline asked where I was and why some random kid was trying to handle their account. Trevor had completely botched their monthly order, putting them behind schedule. When Mr. Yamamoto learned I'd been fired, he immediately called Raymond. "You fired the only person who understands our needs? We're reviewing our contract." By the end of the week, the warehouse system crashed. Trevor didn't even know it existed. Orders backed up. Shipments went to wrong addresses. Returns piled up unprocessed. The warehouse manager called Raymond, screaming that everything was falling apart. Then the custom ordering system stopped working because it needed weekly maintenance only I knew how to do. Suddenly, nobody could place orders. The website showed everything as out of stock. Customer service was flooded with complaints. 2 weeks after firing me, Raymond was in full panic mode. He called asking me to come back as a consultant to fix everything. I said my consulting rate was $500 an hour with a 20-hour minimum. He said that was ridiculous. I said good luck then. The second biggest client pulled their contract completely when Trevor sent them the wrong products 3 times in a row. They'd specifically asked for me, and when told I was gone for performance issues, the client laughed. "Performance issues? She's the only competent person you had." The third client threatened to leave unless I was rehired. The warehouse staff started quitting because they couldn't function without the systems I'd maintained. Other departments refused to work with Trevor, who didn't understand basic operations. A month after firing me, Raymond's company was hemorrhaging money. He'd lost 2 major clients, and the third was on the way out. His operations were in chaos. His staff was in revolt. Trevor had made so many mistakes they were facing lawsuits. That's when the owner, Mr. Fitzgerald, who'd been hands-off for years, decided to visit. He walked into absolute chaos. Made up reasons you better make sure they weren't the one keeping your business alive. Full story on channel. Link below.